Listen, we are in the Strength Cave and you either love leg day or you absolutely hate it. Today, we're gonna talk about how many leg days you actually need to get the results you want. First things first though, you guys, you have to understand in this industry, there are so many different approaches, there are so many different ideas, and it is a mess to try to sift through all that junk. You're seeing people that are doing legs 7 days a week. You see people that do legs once every 2 weeks. You see people that are doing legs an average amount 2 to 3 times a week, and then you see all different levels of gains, goals, progression, strengths, etc. And you know what, you guys, it all comes back to the one thing that I always say is that we are all individual. We are not identical to anybody on this earth, so we should not train like anybody on this earth, and everybody responds differently to the training that is specific for them. That's why you see so many different results, that's why you see so many different answers and so many different ideas and protocols and methods, is because it worked for one person, but it might not work for everybody. So here's the magical trick to figuring out how many leg days you gotta do. You gotta figure out what works for you. And we wanna look at a few things. First, you gotta know what your goal is. If your goal is strictly aesthetics with your legs, you want your legs to look a certain way, you want them to do this, you compete in bikini competitions or bodybuilding or something like that, where strength's not really a major issue, it's more about aesthetics, obviously you're gonna train different than the powerlifter in the gym who's trying to squat 600 pounds, okay? There's not even a comparison there to how you need to be trained. Your frequency is going to be different, your rest is going to be different, all these things are going to be totally different than depending on your goals. So you need to know if your goal is aesthetics, if it's strength, or if it's both, or if it's something else. You got to know what your goal is and you got to cater your training towards that. Then you also got to assess your result. You got to see your progression and you got to make sure that your recovery is happening. That is the key variable to training any part of the body. You need to train it hard and then you need to let it recover. So many people make the mistake of not recovering, and that's why they stay at the exact same spot, spinning the wheels time and time again with strength, with muscle development, with aesthetics, with all of that. It's because they're just overtraining, they're never getting the recovery variable. Perfect kind of gains is going to be the balance between intensity and recovery, and it needs to be balanced. You can't have one or the other, otherwise you're not gonna have any good results. You gotta have them together like a nice yin-yang wheel of gains, okay? So what you guys gotta do is make sure that's happening. So you need to assess your own recovery. How do you do that? Okay, say you start a leg day, you wanna do 2 leg days a week. You're gonna do it on Monday and on a Friday or something like that, or whatever, it doesn't even matter. If you are still sore all week through leg day and you go to the next leg day and you're not moving near the weight you should be because you're so sore, you didn't recover enough. You might need to do just 1 leg day. For example, if you are on the opposite end of the scale, it's gonna be a little different. So say you're doing 1 leg day and you're not even sore from it. You should probably do 2 leg days, maybe 3 leg days, and see what works best for you. If you're training purely for aesthetics or strength or whatever, you need to be assessing that result. You gotta track everything. If it's aesthetics, take pictures, know what it's looking like, know you're moving in the right direction. If it's strength, make sure the numbers are climbing, make sure you're making gains that you wanna get. And if it's not happening, you guys, change the program, mix it up, try something different and see what works best for you. Again, it is a variable of your goals, your training intensity, and your recovery. That's how you find out how many leg days you need to do. If you guys want just a general answer, most people should be doing leg day 2 to 3 times a week. Okay, and this is going to be very specific to the goals, but that is a great place to start. Obviously, if you're a powerlifter or somebody like that who's squatting 500 pounds every time you squat, you should not be doing leg day 4 or 5 times a week, bro. You need to be recovering. You need to make sure that you're balancing that recovery variable. So take all those things in consideration, you guys. Revisit your goals, see what it's about, track your results, recover the best, and figure out if you're moving in the right direction with the plan you have for you. Coach Ryan is out.